Happy birthday, dear Joe Shade. Happy birthday to you. Please wish that this podcast goes viral one day.
I wish I get some booty tonight.
That's what you wished for. You got it all wrong.
And you can't tell what you wish for.
There you go. Show it to the camera of the cake. Little velvet cake.
Ooh, it looks good.
Action.
Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of the IQ Project. I'm right here with my co-host, Ricky Tat.
Yo, what it do?
And now we have a special guest, the man behind the camera, but not behind the camber today.
He's
Carlos.
in front of the camera. Anchored minds,
Yeah.
bro. You nervous, dog?
I'm not nervous. Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Till we ask you those deep questions.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to get you today, bro.
Yeah.
Normally,
Payback.
you could just hear his voice, but now you actually see him.
I know.
And who else we have in our...
Oh, and today we got a special guest.
Very
The specialist
special.
guest is Ariel, the youngest apprentice in Iconic.
Speak louder. Say hello.
Hi,
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
How old are you,
mama.
Ariel?
I'm 8.5 years old.
8.5.
And she's going to be tattooing by 10.
She's going to be tattooing as early as we can get her to make that money because I want to retire soon. So you better get going, girl. No, how does it
Specialty
feel?
is going to be stick figures.
How does it feel to be on the podcast?
Amazing.
Say it louder. It's fine. Normally.
I
No?
like it like that.
Welcome, mama.
How do you feel as a dad?
Yeah.
I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it because, like, I always would put myself in her position. Like, man, how would it have been to walk in as an 8-year-old and just seeing a studio and seeing my dad draw and seeing tattoo. I mean, at the time I didn't like tattoos, but just even the art aspect. I'm just excited what she's gonna do. I'm not pressuring her. I always tell her, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And she says yes, and she shows it by action. That's the most important part. I'm not telling her every day, "Hey, grab a pencil." You know? Do you love it?
You just give her the tattoo machine.
Yes. Huh?
You just give her the tattoo
Yeah, I
machine.
just gave her like here. So
Try it out.
love you, mama. We should. All right, now back to business. We're
Get
doing this.
cute.
Imagine she sees this at 16, 17 when she's like, man, tattooing sucks now. And then she sees this right here, this little episode.
Yeah.
You're going to get to a point where everybody doesn't like it. It's a weird thing. It's a weird
Happens to
thing.
everybody.
Happens to everybody. But don't worry about that right now. That's adult talk.
I think that happens to everyone in every industry, though.
It does, huh? Why is it, though?
I think because it's just the overwhelm. You lose the fun out of it and it becomes a responsibility.
Yeah.
So it's not fun anymore. You actually have to do it.
Yeah, I feel like once you involve money into it, it definitely changes your perspective about it.
Because think about it, when you're doing it as a hobby, you got nothing. There's no responsibility.
pressures.
Yeah, no pressures and nothing. But now you got to pay your bills.
So is the key having pressures enough to, make you money
Yeah.
and also at the same time have fun with it? So maybe not overwhelm yourself.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that and just I think we said it before, just make it more fun where you're changing things up. It's not the same consistent routine over
We
and
do
over.
fall into routines.
Yeah. How many sanjudas did you do?
Last year,
Yeah.
like 25, I felt like a printer.
Exactly.
Ricky Tat, number 00145. Like, zzz, zzz, zzz.
And as a tattoo artist, I mean, there's not that much things you could change like a sanjudas.
No,
You know?
just the backgrounds and what were you saying? Just the backgrounds and maybe how dark to make it because some, skins are different.
Yeah.
I try to be creative, but sometimes, and then you got to also realize though, it might be 25 for us, but for that person, it's that one. It's not 25.
So you have to make it.
But
But what about you, Carlos? I mean, I bet it gets into routine with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to keep myself busy outside of work too, though, because I try to stay healthy and work out and go on runs and stuff, and then training jujitsu. So then when I go back to work, I feel refreshed. So I'm not the same thing all the time.
Finding some other extra activities to do.
Yeah.
That's smart.
I think he's pointing that at us.
And also too, like being involved in the in the client's podcast too. That kind of just breaks the monotony
Yeah, it
of
just
it all,
breaks
right?
it all. We just broke the fourth wall right now.
We broke the fourth wall again.
wall again because I'm in it
Bam!
now.
Yeah,
But
that's,
we've had you.
I
on
just learned that
before.
concept right now. Break the
I
fourth
like how
wall.
more comfortable you are because before you're like a little bit timid, but now you have your own podcast too, right?
Now I have my own podcast that we've been working on for a few years, but we actually started making it live just this year. And I mean, we had an idea of like we had an idea of like what we wanted to focus on and like what we wanted to like engage our content towards. But we just never really navigated it exactly where, and then we finally got it to obviously people who just started businesses is the big one, or people who want to start a business, and then first generation business owners. Because
that's
a lot
super
of
niche.
a lot of people who are part of that industry don't have anywhere to like get their information from. Like everybody's always like starting a business, but they don't know who to talk to, who to ask, where to ask, and I
The
feel
basic
like,
questions.
yeah, I feel like we've gone through that, you know, and we can express our experiences with people who
So what's the name of the podcast? Shout it out, bro.
stay shining, stay grinding podcast.
Damn. He even looks at the camera to stay shining, stay grinding.
That's right.
You do that?
Yep.
I go like that. And you're doing this with whom?
With my brother-in-law, his name is Jose Gallegos. He owns Vivid Landscape, which is this company right here. That company right there.
So it's
Yeah.
two entrepreneurs anchored my projects, media content, collabing with the landscaping projects of Vivid. Smart. I love what you guys are doing. To be honest, I'm putting it out there. I admire what you guys are doing. That's dope. I think that's a perfect relationship of what a content creator meets with an actual operations company, you know, because you don't, in a sense, you're not doing none of that work. You're documenting it, and it just goes hand in hand. And I would argue you're just as essential as him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then the cool thing too with his company is that he just likes to focus on highlighting his team. And what we noticed from time of like being around social media a lot now is that most companies just highlight like the finished product or like the beginning and end, and like no one highlights the actual team. So we like to highlight the team, we like to highlight the teammates, we like to highlight the employees, so then when customers look through the social media feeds, they're like, hey, I already know this person from social media, I already know this person from social media, so they're more comfortable when they go into their door. So
why did it take you so long to actually start it?
the podcast,
Yeah, because
I think just because we're in two different places. I mean, he was in a position where his business was like growing and changing, and then I was in a position where like I was still in between school and starting my business, and then I ended up dropping out of school, so then I ended up doing full-time work now. So now I'm in a position where I can invest the majority of my time now in my business and helping other people grow.
I think what you call right there is like timing, you know? The timing, you guys thought of the idea, but just because when the idea is thought of, it doesn't mean it's the right time, you know? There's a couple check marks you need to go through. Okay, do I have enough experience to talk about this? Because people can tell right away, dude, if you're bullshitting or not, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And you're probably like, well, this is a good idea, but I don't really have checks box checked, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm a rapper now. You know, marking the boxes, right? Checking it out. And I think when you thought the idea, you work towards it. And I think that's what we could do, you know? We think of an idea and we just, all right, what 3 or 4 things do I need so I can make this idea happen? We talk behind camera, bro, about an idea we want to do that we'll mention in the future pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know? And I wanted to check some boxes out, you know? And all of them were almost all checked out. There's a couple more, but we'll talk about that more. It's a little behind the scenes. I can't really say right now. Stay tuned, you know? But, man, I think, forget the topic we were talking about. This is good. This is just natural flowing, huh? We can save that one for another day.
I want to keep talking about this. Like, you say you already have, like, who you're trying to target and everything. But, I mean, with us, you've seen it that as we're starting the podcast, we had an audience we're targeting, but over time it changed, right? And I think we changed it like 3 times already. With you, have you seen that already, or you don't think you've had enough time?
No,
yet?
I just think that because the way we initially decided to start the podcast, we thought we just want to be a business podcast. But when he first when we started it, he was already kind of established, and I was just barely getting my feet wet, so I didn't really know. And just like it was during the pandemic, so it was even hard to even just get together to do it. And we didn't have an established place. We were doing it in our garage, in my garage, and it just wouldn't work out. It was in the middle of the summer, and it was just a mess. And then we waited another 2 years, and then he got an office space with a lot, and we were meeting every Monday morning to kind of like game plan and strategize like what we were gonna do for the week to collect content. And in that moment of just sitting there and talking, we're like, hey, we should do the podcast again. Like, we have this time in the morning, like, why not do it? And then we sat down, we thought of a name. He already established like the stay shining, stay grinding concept because of his like videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
He does a lot of like update videos about his projects. People love it. It's great. It's helped him grow a lot. And at the end of each video, he says, stay shining, stay grinding. So in the time, we were like, what should we call it? And I was like, dude, we should call it stay shining, stay grinding. Like, everybody already knows that.
The slogan.
Yeah.
And he's like, now if people come up to him, and even like clients or potential clients be like, stay shining, stay grinding. And he's just like stunned. He's like, oh, you know it. So yeah, I mean, I think it became of like a process of just like pick and choose. And then now that we're both in two different positions, like I said, I'm fully established in my business. His brand's in a different position. Like, it was just the perfect timing.
We're gonna have to figure out a slogan for us.
Well, we have a couple slogans, but we never really like push them. We have trust the process. We have it on all our shirts. Oh, you didn't have your sweater on? Yeah. And the sweater, it says it. And we like to say that, but
Échale ganas.
Échale ganas. You know? And yeah, I guess those can be a couple too. But what I do like about it is that the slogan that he does have, at the end, it flows, it's catchy, and he's consistently dropping it, you know what I'm saying? And when I hear it, I'm like, well, what should be ours, you know? We don't really say anything. Maybe we have, all right, guys.
That's mine and Shirley's. I got it from Shirley.
All right, guys, get going.
Every morning. All right, guys.
But since we're on topic about this, I think there's two key points there that work for you guys. Timing, and that you guys believe in that, you know, because I work with my brother and I would tell him, hey, let's do some of this stuff, you know, but I don't think he was fully convinced that doing those kind of like, what do they call them? Projects, I guess, you know, like a vlog or just recording was essential for the business, you know, and I guess you guys were in that same like wavelength saying that works, let's do it, you know? Yeah. And that matters.
I think it's because you don't get immediate results. I think with this, when you're doing content and all that, you have to trust that's going to work. You can't really say like, oh, it's going to work because I'm going to get you these numbers and this and this and that. Yeah. Right? You have to trust it. And then it's not immediate results. You have to wait a little bit. You won't see the results till maybe a year or two later.
Yeah, I mean, how long have we been on this? Almost 3 years, you know? Yeah. And we're just starting to just see some traction, you know?
We finally got 3 more followers.
Yeah, hell yeah. Right. Shout out to all 3 followers, you know? But what happened in between that? We just pulled the trigger, right? Yeah. You mentioned something too. You know, you guys started at the garage and it was hot. Just wasn't the vibe, you know? But you had to figure that out so that now you can appreciate at the spot you're at now, you know? And we had to do the same thing. You just sometimes have to pull the trigger at the time when you have the ganas, you know, the want to do it, you know, and then you tailor it towards as you go.
Did it help you that you were working with us to start it up?
Yeah, it did actually. Yeah, it did help. I mean, it taught me. You guys taught. I only knew so much like when I first started, and then now that I'm in a position where I pretty much know how to set up a whole podcast by myself when there's people out there having podcasts with like 10 people behind the cameras. So, you know, it's taught me a lot, definitely.
Yeah. They call that, what's the word when people, an entourage team, you know? Yeah. Maybe later on you'll have an entourage.
Like one guy gets the camera, one guy gets the lamp.
No, I think what it is it's just, you know, they say, hey, let's go do a podcast, and so brings their friends, and then it just becomes like a thing. But.
Well, I mean, like Adrian, for example, he works for Monster, and he works in the podcast station, and he says there's like one guy just switching cameras, there's one guy just handling the audio, there's one guy making sure all the cameras are in frame, there's one guy making sure the cameras are in focus. Like, and I'm like, I'm handling all this by myself.
Right.
So,
I mean, that just goes to show that you can do it yourself, but obviously they have the capital, the money to just say, all right, you handle this, you handle that, and it becomes a team, So that's cool. What do you think? Let's add Ariel into this conversation. Have you seen any podcasts besides ours on YouTube? You watch YouTube a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you like podcasts?
I never seen one.
Just ours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, like I don't even see yours.
I'm like, I haven't seen yours, buddy. Oh, but do you think they're cool?
Yeah.
As an 8-year-old, do you think they're cool?
Yeah, but I think as a kid, you'll get tired of it.
Yeah.
Because it takes forever.
So attention. So if we want to market to younger people, let's cut that's why it's so important. They love stories on YouTube, bro. Love, love, love. That's all even shout out to HP Media. He has a YouTube channel that's blowing up, and all he does is stories, But we do the long form. This is what is called long form content. We do,
but you're also engaging in the short form too, and the short form has helped you guys gradually progress more now because of, like you said,
the awareness factor,
and that's like the thing that everybody's doing right now is going through shorts.
Yeah.
So
no, that's definitely helped, because just throwing out the video for on YouTube and it's an hour, I doubt anybody's listened to them for an hour, But I'm
But
one
what
of those.
helps is that we actually put them on Spotify and Apple Music, because I know a lot of people that actually listen to them audio.
yeah,
They won't see it, but they'll listen to audio while they're driving.
I'm one of those guys that I listen to them and view them. Like, that's if I follow somebody heavy, I watch the whole thing. But I think it's because of this, I'm watching how their mannerisms are. I'm watching what they say. I'm seeing how they interview the person. And then I really like their content, and I'm listening. And sometimes I'll stop it. I'm driving. I'll stop it and I'll rewind, because I want to see how they said that story or whatever, that example, and how they said it. And one of them that I watch heavy right now is Ryan Pineda, and he's blowing up super fast. He's always has content out. It's about real estate developers, but now he has content creation. He has the Wealthy Creator, and a lot of his stuff just hits and he resonates. Like the other day, he just had a small one about how he bought one of those new electrical trucks.
The F-150s?
No, the
Rivian.
The Rivian. How he bought it, and now he's just gonna flip it because he can make $40,000 on it.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, this is smart. It's a small little example of what supply and demand does, So I'm all for that. But I doubt everybody has the time to do what I do, because I'm really passionate about it all that right now. Yeah. We do more shorts, right, Mama? Some funny shorts.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys start dancing.
We should start dancing.
I wish I could see them, but it's not kid appropriate for me.
That's right. That's a very good point. We don't have it for kid appropriate because, I don't know. Should we change it? That means we have to cuss less.
Yeah.
Can it be changed as we go?
It can be changed, but you're not gonna be able to cuss, because as soon as you cuss, they'll take it down. Yeah.
What if we have a kid mentorship one? Interesting. No, that'd be weird. I guess it's tailored more towards adults, but yeah. That's crazy.
Because think about it, tattoo industry is more adult.
Yeah. Kids are not tattooing yet, But when my Ariel starts, she'll be like, "Shoosh, we'll break barriers," right?
Yeah.
There you go.
But if I make a YouTube channel, it would be kid appropriate.
Yes, I would hope so. Hey, are you nervous
Nervous of what?
right now talking?
No.
No? Oh, wow. How did you feel when I said, "Mama, would you like to tattoo with a tattoo machine on fake skin?" How would you feel?
I don't remember you saying that,
Mm-hmm.
but if I remember you saying that, I feel excited.
Excited?
Yeah.
And then when you started tattooing on fake skin, what went through your mind?
That how good I would be when I'm older.
So she saw the future.
Wow.
And then she said something really funny. She was tattooing, right? And she would tattoo on the fake skin, and then she'd wipe it. Remember?
Yeah.
And what did you tell me?
I told you every time you wipe it, it's like a surprise.
Bro, she just brung it down to simplicity. Like, it's true. Every time we're tattooing on skin, and you know the ink splatters, not all the time is it perfect where we're seeing the insertions, especially when we use like the big mags. It's really a surprise when we wipe, see how we did, right? And we don't think about it like that. We're just like, but she brought it in such an innocence that I'm just like, wow, it changes perspective, you know? But let's talk about a little bit about what we done this weekend, you know? Anything special going on? Oh, it was your birthday this weekend, huh, fool?
Yeah, my birthday was yesterday. I went to a little whiskey bar, had a little drink.
What is it, February 12th?
February 12th.
How old are you now?
Abraham Lincoln's birthday. I am 30.
You're 30?
3-0?
30.
You're 30?
You left the 20s, bro?
Left the 20s.
Finally, man. We can maybe get some mature attitudes in here.
Wow.
Hey, bro. Carlos still fucking
I still got one more year.
You're 29?
I'm gonna be 29.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what?
Youngster
In
over here.
honor of your birthday, we got to get it on the podcast here. My beautiful wife has a little surprise for you. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear
Joe
Josh.
Shade.
Don't shout it.
Happy birthday to you. Hey, don't blow yet. Put it over here so it can be on camera. Big 3-0. That's a big, you know. That's a big transition. So make a wish. Please wish that this podcast goes viral one day.
No, it's gonna be viral when we post.
Ready? Go. All right.
I wish I get some booty tonight.
That's what you wished for. You got it all wrong.
And you can't tell
All
what
right,
you
so-
wish for.
There you go. Show it to the camera. The cake. Little velvet cake.
Ooh, it looks good.
Oh, come on.
Now no one can.
Yeah.
I was like, this cake is.
He saw black.
No, I heard that. Oh, man, I was like,
Oh, I actually wanted some.
Oh.
Hey, I just
Now
felt
no
the
one
candle
can
hit
eat
my
it.
lip.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
well, that was unexpected.
You guys saw that? You guys slapped in the face with hot candle wax and a no, I'm just kidding.
And a very strong cake.
Very strong cake.
Bro, I was craving that cake, man. Did it taste good at least?
Bro, I didn't even see it coming. I just saw your face in disappointment. I was like, I was just like,
A velvet cake. I was like, well, damn. We didn't get some of that. So, anyways, happy birthday, Josh.
thank you. Thank you.
Sheesh, bro.
I got a cake up my nose.
How does it feel to be 30?
Honestly, bro, I feel the same shit. I just feel, my body just feels 50. So,
You know what it is? Like, it doesn't happen over, you know, the change, because I'm 42, right? It doesn't happen, like, instantly. You'll start, in your 30s, you'll start seeing that in your 30s, you just take on more responsibilities. You care about certain things more than you care about in your 20s, and we evolve. Just like we evolve, like, with these podcasts that we're doing and in our business. I mean, look.
well, I don't think you could say that as a number, though, because I feel like I did evolve from when we started the shop to my responsibilities changed completely from, well, I think I was, 26, 27 when we started the shop. So I think from then, I ended up picking those responsibilities and everything already compared to, like, what most people say, oh, in your 30s, that's when you get that.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, there's, even though you started earlier in your 20s, there's going to be different levels of changes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had that change because you had this responsibility. Like I told you, hey, you fucking owe, you know, you all have bills, you know? And so that's a change. And then now in your 30s, and maybe not so much the business part, but maybe more of the man part. You know what I'm saying? Like, our responsibilities as men, as we're in our 30s, you start thinking different, especially in the 40s, bro. Every 10 years, there's changes. But it doesn't happen like, oh, because it's your birthday after the cake got slapped on you. It doesn't happen then. You just start you just start thinking like, oh shit, I'm turning 31. Oh shit, I'm turning 32. Wait a minute, 33 and I haven't done this. I better get going on this. You see what I'm saying? Like it's progression. But I'm not just talking about business wise because you got that on lock. I'm talking about just as growth, as a male individual that just grows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
But even like I'm looking at the shirt right now because you got to take off your sweater. I mean, look at our logo, iconic. Show it off right there, all nice and sexy right there.
Bam.
That logo evolved. You know, it evolved from the first one we had with the wings. We had the eye in the middle, right, and we'll show it here, Carlos, right, and we'll have and then we had the wings on the side. And the reason why I put the wings is to show that we were, business partners, so I put one wing and that connects. And I thought that was so cool at the time, but then we realized like that's just.
I thought you just got that from your car.
Oh, from the back of the Honda?
Yeah.
No, it was really a symbol like that. I was like, instead of just having the iconic like that, it didn't even have a square. It had the eye for iconic, and then it had the wings to show just us two in one path. But as we grew, we realized that like we wanted to put it on the hats, remember? And it looked pretty busy. We're like, let's just keep it more simple. And now we have what you have there,
But I think the idea of how we started the shop, like you said, it evolved from the beginning to what it is now. And from now, it's evolving to something completely different.
Yeah, and that also is comparable to what we're talking about the podcast. When we started the shop, we didn't start with this, 2,500 square foot location. We started with just 1,000, and we figured out that we needed other things in it. We needed a setup for a podcast. We needed a setup for more artists because just having up to 6 artists, us 2 plus 4, it was gonna be okay, but that's not what we're aspiring to. We're not aspiring to just be a small shop. We're aspiring to leave a blueprint or a footprint in the Inland Empire. And so how do you do that? By taking risks and doing something that hasn't been done in the Inland Empire. Or else we're just another shop. Check it out. We're just another shop. But what are we doing different? We're growing, we're teaching new artists how to be tattoo artists. Instead of just hiring, we're doing the apprenticeship, and we're doing it in a systematic way where they grow like-minded like we are. And if they don't like that, then we just say, you're not meant for this, And we're on our 3rd one. So it shows that we're finally having something here, And to be honest, I'd rather just start new artists than just hiring some, But I think we need both. We need a little bit of both. But I love teaching new people. And also with that, with teaching new artists and getting them good and be proud of them. Like, let's highlight Romeo, dude, second apprentice. That kid does line work better than I ever did, And I'm just amazed, And that's a testament to his hard work and accepting the guidance that we have and just the combination of it, And that's what creates a good shop, So, I don't know. I'm still seeing you picking out the stuff from
Yeah. Still got a little kick in my nose.
How has the Hanker Minds evolved?
Man, to be honest, let's see. I don't know. I think I started to like take it more serious once I stopped school, and once I took that initiative of like finally pulling the trigger. That's when I decided to evolve to a more serious space because I was kind of like on the fence a lot. I was like education or the brand, and then finally I decided to drop school. My wife was not very happy with that, and she didn't talk to me for a few weeks, and then because she's in a PhD program, so she's all about education.
All about the education.
So I did it, and then now I feel like relieved that I did it because I spent so much of my time back and forth, plus family, plus like my health. So like I never really had like a good balance. And then now that I have just work, family, and my health, like the balance just feels more natural. And with that, I've evolved to be more focused on my brand as opposed to like I'm focused on my brand, but I also have to get the degree. So it was a lot. So I feel like changing that now, like I've been telling everybody this, like, I'm 2 feet in now on increment projects. Like, that's it.
I remember like we had a conversation about that when you were thinking about going back to school. You're like, I'm gonna take a year off.
Yeah.
I was like, I told you too. I was like, you're not going back.
Yeah, you did actually.
And what were you going to school for?
Sociology.
Sociology. Okay, so it kind of goes hand in hand, but still, all that energy that you were going towards the schooling, now that you're focusing it on your actual like your own business, is just gonna. It shows on you that you're seeing the growth, you're seeing the purpose, you're more fine tuned,
More happy.
happy.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Definitely more.
because
happy, yeah.
maybe you did realize maybe I don't maybe that path is not for me right now. This path is over here. You know.
I feel like, I mean, I also think that maybe I should have taken some like business courses that would have helped, especially with like understanding business and stuff. Like, and there's a lot of stuff that I still have to learn when it comes to the business stuff. So
I think with that, because after we started the shop, I actually went back to school for like a year to try to learn more for business. But what I realized that everything they're teaching us, I kind of already figured out with Ricky ourselves, like just Googling it and just doing it. So that you don't really learn the whole business side of it. You just have to do it.
yeah, and I've also, I mean, I also thought about it too because I spend a lot of time thinking. I'm like a fucking philosopher sometimes, but I think like when people don't go to school and they start a business and they label themselves like as an entrepreneur, they tend to go through those experiences that you would go through in school in real life. So there's more at stake when you're doing it real life as opposed to school. It's more of a theoretical sense. It's like if you were a business owner and that happened, and then your answer may be wrong, but then you can get a better answer and figure it out as opposed to
You lose your mortgage.
Yeah,
you lose
Right now, when you're saying that, dude, it brings me back to when I used to go, because I got my bachelor's degree at University of Phoenix, right?
Oh.
So I was doing that whole accelerated program and stuff, and I took business classes there. And you just highlighted something I remember. We had a scenario where we build a product, right? And then that product would run through scenarios, and I was like, well, how would this work? You know what I mean? Like all these theories, I could just say, they give us some challenges, right? And what if those challenges, they don't have context of why those challenges came? For instance, if I build a product, how do I bring it to market, and how would I start a business? Well, they forgot to mention, well, how much capital do you have? Are you married? Are you all in? Do you have the knowledge of this? Like, they didn't bring all that. It was just scenarios. So it's kind of hard to gauge that.
Well, one of the biggest things that I realized too, and just seeing other podcasts with other business owners, is that, you're going to school for this and you're learning all this theoretically, right? From a person who doesn't even own a business. So they don't even know how it is going through it besides what they read in books.
Yeah.
So in reality, I think the best education you could get is going to someone that has a business in the same industry you're trying to get.
Mentorship.
Work under them, and then from there, learn what they're learning, side by side in real life or real.
Yeah, but not everybody's doing it for the right reason.
Yeah.
Because there's people who do mentorship programs and
They just do it for the money.
yeah,
But I
are
mean,
doing it just for the money. So
but I'm not saying go pay that person. I'm saying go work under him.
yeah,
Like our apprenticeships.
like an internship.
Yeah, our apprenticeships is basically an internship.
Okay.
They come in and they work under us. We don't charge them anything.
Yeah.
They're learning. We're charging them. We're paying them by educating them.
Yeah.
There
was a couple of professors that did have some businesses in their belt. I remember because I would ask that question. But to your point, like, it doesn't matter even if they did have the businesses. It's nothing like actually doing it. And I think podcasts are opening up the door to people talking about. It's really education in a non-formal platform. You know what I'm saying? We're talking a lot of business ideas here. And to your point as well, when people do things, let's say you're an entrepreneur and you're doing what needs to be done to actually run that business. You're doing the theories that we're talking about in school, but nobody's saying, "Oh man, I just did a P&L report on my business."
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, the profit and loss, right? So basically, that's not how it goes in real business. Real business is like, shit, I don't have enough money to fucking pay myself this month, you know? So I should maybe like write my list down and see where my expenses are going. Why am I paying so much for the subscription? I don't really need it, you know? But there is a theory that is taught in business, you know? Everybody's got to know their P&L reports, basically where you stand, where's the heartbeat of your business. But when you're starting, I didn't even know what I learned it by the school, but I didn't really put it in practice. And now when we do it here, you know, I'm like, damn. Like the other day, how we just crunched down numbers, and I'm like, fuck, dude. It looks like we're doing a lot, but there's a lot of expenses and there's a lot of overhead. So then we gotta tighten up the belt a little bit. So
some more fancy coffee for you.
Yeah, I know. no bougie coffee, huh? Starbucks. But
yeah, I think once you put things into practice, it really changes your perspective of how it really is.
So we've been in business since 2018, right?
Yeah.
Late 2018. So what have you learned about a tattoo business? Like,
it's never gonna go as planned.
It's never gonna go as planned.
Never gonna go as planned.
You hear that, guys?
Expect 10 different outcomes right away.
Well, damn, that's
10 different outcomes.
10?
Well, I mean, 10
Elaborate,
different
'cause
10 different roadblocks coming your way.
Oh.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Oh.
There's something always gonna get in the way, and you just gotta learn how to problem solve and fucking figure it out.
So we're firefighters. We're fighting fires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's never ending.
Never
I feel like in my industry too, it's never ending because it's just like I may be in a position where like I feel relieved with one client, everything's going good, and then another client is having some issues, and then I put that fire out, and then another client has an issue. So I feel like a lot of it right now is me, since I'm like primarily working solo. I have 2 people working with me right now, but they're not like full time. But right now a lot of my job is just putting out fires, obviously creating content and putting out fires. But I do hope that at some point I can be just putting out fires. That'll be fun because I do like looking at things and being like, okay, why is this wrong? What can we do to make it better? So
What I learned is just embrace the moment that you're having difficulty in. Because yes, you're right. Problems are gonna come. It's not always perfect. We're not just racking in the money like people think we're tattoo shop owners and racking it in. It doesn't work that way. You know, there's a lot of time, sweat, conversations behind doors with artists. There's a lot of like determining if these vendors are the best for us. Determining, you know, what equipment should we buy? Should we go all out and buy a lot more equipment, or should we buy as needed? Like, there's always different conversations, right? But what I learned, and I'm practicing this now, to live in the moment of the decisions. And by living in the moment, you're realizing that you're in this one situation right now. Don't worry about the others. Don't worry about the future. Of course, we have plans. We have 5-year plans for our business, Iconic, right? But I work well in deciding things when I'm in the moment. So, for instance, right now, if it's a little slow for Iconic, you know, I look at the numbers, and if I see that the numbers are a little slower for the month of January, I'm like, all right, so let me analyze this situation. What's been happening? All right, well, we have a new artist that just came in. He's going to have he's going to have, it's going to take time for him to grow and get clientele. So understand that. So now I know that aspect. So, okay, what do we do with him? Okay, we create an awareness program, such as a free tattoo giveaway. Okay, so there's problem number 1. And so as you analyze it and live in the moment, you start seeing that let's just attack that moment right now. And when you attack that moment, boom, there's your answer. See what I'm saying? Another thing too is like, if me, like I had a great year last year, I was just constantly busy, you know, I decided to take some time off, and guess what? Now my February it's paying the price for my enjoyment of November, December. I'm going back to what we say, man, 90-day rule. Your 90 days, the reason why your state of mind right now, or your state of your business is right now, is not because of right now. It's because what you did 90 days ago. And I remember me saying like, okay, I had a great year. I made enough savings. I did what I had to do. I'm going to spend some time with my family, right? So what happened? November, December, and a little bit of January, I took it easy. So what does my February look like? My February looks a little weak because of those 3 months. So what did I do? I initiated a contest, a live IG live contest. I should have been on live right now, but I told everybody, but that's an awareness program, you know? And a lot of times we don't think of it like that. So that's what I learned. Just live in the moment, decide in the moment what's needed. Don't worry about the future. Once all that's taken care of, you can slightly see over the horizon and then start walking towards that future again. But every time you hit a challenge or a conflict or a decision to make, just think about it in that moment. And boom, that's what I learned. Because problems are going to come across all the time, dude. We're not going to be like, okay, we're problem free. That's just, a business is about problems, whether it's with people, products, relationships, whatever. It's about problems.
But it's those problems that make you grow.
Yeah.
You figure something out, and now when that happens again, you already have it. You already know what to do.
Yeah. If you have no problems in your business, you're really not challenging yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want those challenges. And sometimes, like going back to my situation in February, saying that my February was a little slower than I want. All right, do I dwell on it, or do I just say, you know what? I'm gonna take this challenge on. Let's make March, April, May. Let's hit June like hard. All right, so granted, February is already done. Let's take on that challenge, and that's what a business, to me is what I learned. You know what I'm saying? Like, live in that moment and take on that challenge. Because if it was just easy, you would never think about it. So it's my job.
Mic drop.
Mic drop right there. Another thing I was gonna ask you is, like, in the content side, I'm assuming you're looking like other, like how everybody else is doing it kind of way. I don't know, maybe. You probably gotten some tips from some people. Shout out to Veer, right?
Yeah.
The fact that you have time more to look within your business, you ask more questions, right? Mm-hmm. And you start like before, you didn't even know any content creators, huh?
Not as much, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that helped you out?
Engaging more with content?
Engaging.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it helped a lot. I mean, I was following a lot of people, but I was following like different people from different industries, cinematography, photographers. And then I kind of started gravitating more towards like the aspect that I was trying to gauge, like the niche that I'm trying to go for. And that's when I made the connections with like Veer, who like I linked up with him, and he gave me a lot of good information to like help grow my brand. And I got to a point now where when I first started, it was all just like photography or video. And then now I got into a point where now I brand my brand as not just photography and video, but as a content creation company, as well as a social media management and marketing company. So we've tackle all those things. That's like the most popular thing that everyone's trying to engage their followings from and their audience from is through social media. So why not invest some of that marketing money into creating content for your brand and making your social media look cool?
So what's one of the hardest things to do is to try to convince someone that this would be beneficial for their business?
The hardest thing to do?
Yeah.
See, I have the luxury right now where I'm not like in the position of like scouting or looking for people to like follow my brand and do my thing, because I'm more based off of like quality as opposed to quantity. So if I do find somebody and want to work with somebody, I'll send them a message or go to their location, try to talk to them. Sometimes people may be interested, but then they're not. So I feel like that one's just hard, but like the majority of my clients are all just based off of network, like people that I knew, people who I know, and they just said, hey, you got something going here, we want to work with you. So I haven't had that like idea yet dabble in my head where it's like what's like the thing that's really going to seal the deal, but it's like if you either want it or you don't. It's how I see it.
That, and I think to answer your question, maybe because I see a lot of that situations with people where it's hard to maybe get the business for people, I think you have to have a sort of high level of conviction towards yourself, because when it comes to that point where you want, I'm pretty sure you came across clients that you offer them a business program of what your services are, and they said, well, I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? I think the better we get at being more convincing to people, you know, and that encompasses a lot of different things like confidence, knowledge and expertise, how you're viewed as an authority, like in the space. That all combined is a package that is more convincible to a client. You know what I'm saying? And if we work at all those three factors in our business, you don't even have to say much. You know what I'm saying? Your own work is going to stand out. And that's why we're hard at working all that stuff here in Iconic, you know?
Well, yeah, I think that all comes with evolving over time, especially when you put more time into your industry. Us being the tattoo industry, you being the videography industry, or I don't know, what's your industry called?
Media content creator.
Media content creator, business strategizer. Man, you got a lot of names.
Bro, like I keep thinking it's great timing for you. It's really great timing for your type of business. Who the hell would have thought that a content creator was a position? I just posted that we wanted a content creator for our business. That wasn't even a position back in the day. So you're at that point where you have established systems that all you have to do is integrate people. You know, and you're not only is it timing right, you got experience already, and you've evolved to be ready to put all those positions in. Now what you got to do is just work on your sales game for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily to be like a salesman, because everybody puts salesman as a bad thing. I mean, we have to sell. You know, we go back to all the YouTube channels we hear. You sell every day of your. I sell ideas to my kids, how to take showers. I sell, ideas to my girl to be like, hey, can I have a hug and a kiss? You know what I'm saying? I sell ideas to you, like, hey, bro, I think we should invest in this, or we should put more of that. I sell to you, like, we have to be convincing it, but I don't use the word sell, right? We have to communicate, and it just goes down.
So you think that's just a mindset that someone has to get into, like every day? It's something you have to do, or you can't just switch it on and off?
Bro, I think you nailed it right there. Everybody should be working on their mindset.
Yeah.
Everybody, because time and time again, when I'm having clients and I talk to them, and a lot of my clients are business owners, and I love that because we can just talk back and forth. We're talking ideas, and sometimes they're like, shit, I never thought about it like that. And then they tell me things, and I'm like, oh man, you're right. The problem is the mindset, but the way it can be, fixed, it's not over one day. We go back to how you were saying you turned into your 30s. Just because you hit that magic number, nothing happened, right? You didn't walk out and you felt a certain type of way anymore. It's just another day. Same thing with the mindset. You don't walk out of the door and be like, man, I got a fucking mindset now. Ricky said, change your mindset. I can't believe I did a Gary Vee thing right now. It starts with putting it into your routine, I guess. And how do you put it into your routine? By talking with other people that are like-minded with the same mindset, by hearing podcasts that say it, by practicing it. And it's like working out, I guess, so I don't know. It's like eating good habits. You have to put it into your routine, I guess, and there's a reason why, I'm overweight. I haven't put in the routines of doing that. But in my mind, I'm working on the business part. Now I just got to do the working out part. And some people are better at other things than others. There's a lot of people I know that are fit that don't have a mindset. I'm like, what the hell? Why isn't your mindset like this? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what position you're at. It just matters that you're aware of it and what point are you at to grow. So we got to work at mindset every day, dude. Mindset is going to be the number one thing in the next 10 years. Podcasts are going to be talking about it. I
mean, mindset's everything, to be honest. Once you can have a bad mindset and it leads you a whole different way, where it tells you, I'm in the mindset where, like, I work Monday through Friday, so the weekend I can party, right?
Yeah.
And then Monday, fucking, you go to work and you're all hungover and shit. Well, you could do the opposite. Be like, okay, I work Monday through Sunday, and I don't have time to party. But I know later on in the future, I'm building this up right now. So later on, I could just take a whole week off.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are two different mindsets right there where you got one good one bad one. And a lot of people, unfortunately, end up on that bad one where it's just for the weekend. You know?
Yeah. Maybe we should
Like I know you work out every day, right?
Yep. Every single day.
Every day.
Twice a day sometimes.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
So how long did that take you to get to that?
I've been working out like religiously since I was like 21, and then I ended up getting hurt when I was like 22. I threw out my back deadlifting, and I was like on and off for a couple of years, and then I finally, in the last, I want to say 2 years, I finally started getting my groove back. So it took me that long to finally get to that comfortable place where I'm at now, where I'm more confident with like not lifting extra weight because I know my back is not good. When I was younger, I'd be like, fuck it.
Yeah. But how'd you get to that point now? Like you started, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then you said I'm consistently gonna do it consistently, right? That's your magic word you like to use against us.
Yeah.
That's consistently started doing it. So going back to your point with the whole mindset, yeah, it's something to be aware of and everything, but it's something you have to do consistently. Consistently be listening to those podcasts. Consistently go work out, train your body. Training your body is gonna help that mind, as well.
So let's dig deeper. Why aren't we consistent?
For
I
me
think it just
personally,
has to do with the way you channel that energy, because the same mindset that I drive towards like working out is the same mindset that I drive towards family, towards business. I just what I do is I just shift the perception of it. Like it helped me so much, because I always tell people if I'm not working out and if I'm not healthy, everything else is gonna fall.
Yeah.
And I already know it is, because I've already experienced it. So personally, that's for me. So if I try to treat everything with that as like, that's like the base of of who I am as a person. And if that's good, everything else slowly becomes good as well. So I tackle everything that way.
just how I seen it right there, like from everything I've been listening to different podcasts, because I just recently started like really paying attention to my mindset and everything. So seeing that whole working out thing, seeing more instead of just hearing music, hear podcasts, things like that. That's something I'm trying to change for me, And like you said, it's not something that's gonna happen overnight. That's just I have to be consistent doing it and seeing those results in the long run.
I would say that just build your package the way the hell you want to build it, because last year my package was just 0 working out, all in on business mindset, all in on tattooing. That's it. Working out was not even a thing with me. And then we had just opened the gym, next door. Would working out at that time help me? Probably yes, But the point I want to make is that don't be afraid to get judged on whatever package you build for yourself, because maybe at the end of the day, you know your own truths and weaknesses, right? So if somebody called me out and said, "Hey, man, yeah, you talk about consistency in business and all that, but not on weights." All right, well, you know what? In that year, maybe I just wanted to focus on all that, and now I'm paying the price and I'm overweight. But you know what? This year I started working out. I might quit. I might not. Who gives a fuck? I really don't care what everybody's opinion is, because I'm building my package, and there's a reason why. And everybody's going to interject. Well, yeah, you should go run at least a mile a day, bro. You'll feel better. Everybody has their own opinion, We have to be good, confident people of accepting, you know what? Thank you for your opinion. I'm building my package and I'm going. Or you know what? Thank you for the opinion. I respect that I'm going to add it on because I value that. So it all goes down to
It's timing too.
timing.
Timing. Like you said last year, where it was just work.
Yeah.
You didn't have the time to work out.
We did have, I did have the time, but I didn't want to, because my thing was like, I need to charge a premium price to pay my bills, to save money, not only to pay back, jumping from a smaller shop to a bigger shop, getting all my investment back, to help my wife build a business for her, so I had to work. And I was so consumed in that I just left weights or working out on the back burner. I was just like, I just don't have time for that right now. But as it eased off this year, I'm just like enjoying it now. I'm in the moment again, you know, and I'm not talking bad about myself about last year, because I knew what I was doing back then to a certain point, right? I don't know if I can understand.
No, yeah, you're enjoying the fruits of the labor now from working hard.
I have a little bit more. So if something's stressing me out, I don't go to the gym. I can't. Other people love being there. My wife goes to the gym to deal with her stress. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I have to like relax. But if I'm feeling good, I'm looking outside, the sun's bright, I want to go run. I'll just work. I'm built a little different mentally, right? But we all just, that's my point. Everybody has their own approach. We don't have a cookie cutter way. So when these podcasts that we listen, you have to follow 5 rules, read books, this, that.
Yeah.
Bro, he's just doing that as a marketing scheme. Yes, of course, all that works. Of course, put in positive 5 things, and of course, you're going to be better by doing those positive things. But some people don't even like to read. Some people like hearing it on their ear. Some people don't want to work outside. They get allergies. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just build your own package. Be confident enough about that. By package meaning like your own routine, your own, you know?
I think the biggest thing too is just surround yourself with people that you want to be like as well. Like you said, same mentality, same like-minded people. Because if you're around someone that's negative, trying to throw you off of what you're trying to do.
And that's a good point, bro. Like being around like-minded people, like even Carlos here, you know, him posting that he works out every day motivated me too. I'm like, man, I see his growth. I see that he's more. I think maybe you got a little bit of business motivation through us. And now I feel like I got motivation of you because you are a fit dude. And I'm like, whoa, man, he's doing this. And he's learning from us. I should learn from him with being more consistent as working out. So that's why I started my gains already. I've been like in a month in, you know. So appreciate that, Carlos Lokes.
Glad to help. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, thanks. And being around these people, because what do people say too? You know, tell me the 5 people you're around, and you know, tell you who you are or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the typical like tell me who all that stuff. But
it might be cliche, but like you said, it's true. You could be around like a whole group of friends that consistently just want to party.
Yeah.
You know, instead of going out and sitting down and talking about how we could grow a business together.
Yeah. I mean, there's truth to it. There's a lot to it. I'm not disclaiming that, but we hear it's a cliche, right? We hear it often. But maybe we should try to change that cliche around, or the environment on us, and have a sit down and be like, let's go have some coffee and talk business. Because when I talk business with people, I get fired up, you know. I can go on and I want to learn, teach me something, you know. I don't know everything. Yeah. And because I went on this like business deep dive for the last 2 years, people see it in me and they're like, man, you're always talking about business. Well, because I've been doing it for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot. I heard a lot of repetitious type of words, concepts, and I'm like, so-and-so on this YouTube channel and so-and-so on this YouTube channel. Like I'll say like Gary Vee, Andy Frisella, you know, Ryan Pineda, all those guys. They're all doing different businesses, but at the end of the day, they have the same concepts and just a different approach. So because it's what it has to be done. You know what I'm saying? We just all verbally say it in a different way. So yeah, man, definitely choose who you want to grow with. You know what I'm saying? And as a tattoo artist, man, I'm just loving the fact that we're closing the gap from just being tattoo artists and business. It should be this close. Yeah. It shouldn't be this far. And what's missed? How do we get it here? By doing this kind of stuff and teaching people what our experience is. I'm not gonna tell you guys here how to make $1 million in a year tattooing because I haven't done it yet. You know, but I can tell you how to make over 100,000. You know. So it's just speaking your truth. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we'll have a guy that can come in and talk to us about how he made $1 million, if there is tattoo artists out there. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we can get their opinions. But we're here talking about ourselves, you know what I'm saying? What our experiences are, because the worst thing you could do is say things that you haven't done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a good topic. Good topic today. We totally changed it.
On the fly too.
On the fly. Should we just do the other one too? So we can knock out two, Carlos? Huh, Carlos? He's like, I don't know. No, it was a good topic, man. And it happened organically on basically how to evolve and how we, how our businesses are. We're three entrepreneurs here. You know, we make our money by our hustle. We don't have a daily pay. We don't have a guaranteed paycheck.
Nope.
And if it starts seeing a little bit, we have to answer some questions. You know, are we not doing enough? Are we doing really well?
Am I eating sopas this month or am I eating fucking steak?
That's how it is, you know? All right, and for that, we're going to conclude this podcast. Thank you guys all for joining us. My daughter here is going to end the podcast and tell them to subscribe and go ahead and end it.
I hope you like this podcast. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. And bye.
There you go. Bye.
Hey,
That's
it.
Good job.
Bye.